Ms. McClunky.
Good morning. I wonder why I got kicked out of the party there for a second.
Trying to find Mr. Kelly.
Mr. Hotchkiss.
Mr. Brown?
Do you have any idea when, rather than me calling you, when you'll have that report done on the divorce case you're the guardian on?
I've sent out I've got another appointment to meet with your client one last time. I want to speak with her again.
Okay.
And then I should have the report ready to go.
That's all I need to know.
Thank you.
Just curious.
Yep.
There he is. Okay, Shannon, put us on the record.
Okay.
Okay, this is a matter of Joseph Early. Could each of you identify yourselves for the record?
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Haley Bordeaux, DHHS.
Rebecca McCluskey for Jessica Chambers.
Ivan Brown, LGAL. Or Ivan Brown for Mr. Ronald Early, sorry.
Mike Kelly, guardian ad litem.
Mia Tyler, DHHS.
So Mr. Early was in the waiting room when I had my in-chambers pretrial with attorneys. I don't see him out there, Mr. Early. But in any event, since there is a jury demand in this case and we can't do jury trials until February at the earliest, Mr. Brown asked me to set the jury trial sometime in March, Shannon. I understand from the last hearing and from the conversation in chambers that Mr. Early is seeking out some services on his own. We'll see how that's going when we do our review hearing for Mom's case. When's that set for, Shannon?
It should be right there in the last order. I got our other calendar up.
Oh, okay.
You were going to set up too.
Yeah, we'll set a pretrial a couple weeks before that, Shannon.
Before what, the jury trial?
Yes.
When in March, Mr. Brown? Mid, early, late? Do you have a preference?
It doesn't matter.
Then let's just go, we'll set the jury trial for March 9th at 1 p.m. and pretrial March 2nd at 8:30.
And we do have a dispositional review hearing on January 12th at 8:45, and we'll probably have a real good handle then on whether or not it's going to be necessary to proceed with a trial for Mr. Early.
Can I ask Miss Tyler? Miss Tyler, do you have? I have a sheet of some of the assistance programs. It was sent to me from what used to be Washington Way, but I cannot read the web addresses. Do you have a list of the available, like Narcanon, that you can?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And I have forwarded them all to your client. I continue to send him text messages with that information provided.
Okay. Do you know whether I haven't called him in the last week since our last hearing. Has he started to engage in Narconon, if you know?
He hasn't started to engage when the last time I spoke to him, but he did say that he was going to contact the service that you provided for him to do via Zoom. He wanted to try that one, but I also sent him a couple service providers that were available earlier in the day while Joseph was at daycare or at school. And he said that he was going to look into those too.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I think that's all for this file. Next up is the matter of Miles Shipe. And let me see, I need to bring Justine Spiegelberg in.
I believe the mom was calling in as well, Your Honor. Should be a
Bring my
945
client in.
number,
Oh, sorry.
945-4134.
Earlier, I had a telephone number in the waiting room while we were in chambers, but I don't see, I see an LG Stylo. I can see who that is.
I think the worker indicated she's at work, so she might have had to go away too.
You want her to call in? Can the mother, she can call in right now then?
Yes, if
She
you
can.
want.
Okay.
Anybody recognize this person in on the LG Stylo?
I don't believe that
All
is the mother. I don't recognize him.
Yeah. All right, well, I'll just leave him there. I can't find Ms. Spiegelberg. I don't know if there's somebody else in the waiting room that's showing up on this file. I'm not going to worry about it based on the conversation we had in chambers. Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Weed is present representing the father. Mr. Brown, I believe, is LGAL, and Mr. Way is present. Based on the conversation we had in chambers, again, this is a case where there's a jury demand, and we're not going to be able to set a jury trial until February at the earliest. Rather than set a trial date, we'll set another pretrial in 6 weeks.
Your Honor, I don't have anything stating this was a jury demand.
Mr. Weed says he filed one.
Okay, I'm just saying I don't have anything.
All right, well, we're going to treat it as a jury demand, so.
Okay, so I'm going to remove our current dates. And you would like a pretrial when, in 6 weeks?
Set it in 6 weeks.
Okay.
We're going to see where we are then. Mr. Weed is pursuing a independent medical with Dr. Girton, and he's going to be making contact to accomplish that.
Pretrial will be December 1st at 8:30. Do you want me to set a jury trial, Judge? Or
No, we'll wait till then to set it.
Your Honor.
December 1st.
Sorry.
December 1st at 8:30 for the pretrial. Go ahead, Mr. Weed.
I was gonna say the mother is in the waiting room. I don't know if that's necessary.
I see. Let her in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. And I'm sorry, I don't have her name readily. Jessica Moore, is that you?
Yes, it is. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Weed has made a jury demand on behalf of Mr. Shipe. We can't do jury trials until probably February at the earliest. So we had a conversation just among the attorneys before we went on the record. And what we're going to do is schedule the case for a pretrial in 6 weeks, December, I didn't write it down. Somebody else have the date readily available?
December 1st.
At 8:30. We'll see where we are then with respect to scheduling jury trials.
Your
And
Your Honor,
and I see Ms. Spiegelberg has just shown up.
Your Honor, I do have a conflict. December 1st. I'm supposed to apparently be in New York City. Says
All right, we can put it a week later.
that'd work.
So that'll be December 8th at 8:30.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Spiegelberg is present now.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Mr. Weed has made a jury demand on behalf of his client. We can't set jury trials until February at the earliest. What we decided to do was hold a pretrial in a few weeks. That'll be on December 8th. We'll see where we are then. In the meantime, Mr. Weed is pursuing a independent review of the medical records. And I'm assuming we will be continuing supervised parenting time for dad. Any objections to that?
No, Your
No.
Honor.
No.
Okay, I think that's it for this case. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anyone recognize the gentleman that's in the screen?
Yes, my name is
Okay.
Matthew Salcedo. I was supposed to have a court date at 9 o'clock.
That's okay. I just wanted to put a name with it so I knew who you were. When I have somebody who logs in with just a phone or a device, sometimes I have to let them in just to find out who they are.
Right.
So I put a name on the screen for you, and I'm going to put you back in the waiting room until it's time to call your case, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so let's see. That brings us to I wrote unsupervised on that note, but that's not correct. It's supervised. Okay.
Thank you for letting me know. Let me know.
Do that. Aaliyah Adcock. And let's see, this is Nicole Traver or Traver?
Traver.
Okay, and let's see, do we have any parents on this one?
Most likely not.
I did speak to my client yesterday, Your Honor, mom, Miss Parasu, and I believe she is participating.
Yep, I see her there. That's Brianna Parasol. And we've got Matthew Adcock. I don't see him. I see Mr. Early finally signed back in. Mr. Brown, if you could connect with him and let him know that we've already done his pretrial.
I do not have his number or his telephone number, so you'll just have to.
I'll let him in and tell him what happened. I don't see any of the other parents on this one. Let me take care of that.
Tell him I'll call him this week.
Okay. Mr. Early?
Yes.
I know you had logged in earlier when we were meeting privately among the attorneys. We already addressed your pretrial on the record. Mr. Brown's going to give you a call and give you an update. I didn't want you sitting out there wondering what was going on.
Okay, thank you very much.
Actually, could you give Mr. Brown a call? I think he's indicated that he may have misplaced your phone number.
Well, it's at my office. And I will be in court this morning, Mr. Early, so make it this afternoon or late morning that you call if you want to call.
All right, well, let me get your number real quick because I tried calling earlier and it went to some mailbox thing.
Yes, because I'm in court. My phone's off.
Okay.
You have it. I will turn it on. I will turn it on when I'm done with court.
Okay.
All
That's
right.
fine. Thank
All right.
you. Thank
You're
you,
wel-
Your Honor.
You're welcome. Okay, so could each of you on the Adcock Grayson matter identify yourselves for the record?
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Nicole Traver, DHS.
Rebecca McCluskey for Brianna Parasu.
Mike
Mr.
Kelly,
Pearson.
guardian ad litem.
Ivan Brown on behalf of Mr. Grayson.
Okay, Mr. Kelly, how are Aaliyah and Rhythm doing?
Doing very well, Your Honor, as growing children would be. No concerns were expressed by placement. They were indicating they are a joy to have within their home. I've reviewed the report. I was just wondering if we would have any type of an update on the status of the pending criminal charges that are awaiting sentencing that I believe are related to mom, as that would may have an effect on the case. Before I make further comment.
Do you have any information on that, Mr. Way?
I'm looking right now.
I do. When I spoke to my client yesterday, she mentioned that the charges were reduced to 2 misdemeanors rather than a felony. It's somewhat of an update. But
There's a lot of files.
Did Mom identify herself? She is present.
Miss
Curso?
McCluskey's, Rebecca's client?
Yes.
Yes, we got it. Thank you.
Okay.
It looks like the felony file was not, it must have been an attorney general or a special prosecutor, so I don't know. Yeah.
That being said, Your Honor, it doesn't seem like we're making really good progress here. I would have no objection to the court entering a custody order on Aaliyah, the Adcock child. Dad indicated to me that he felt that there was a case that was pending here in Jackson County. I did look that up. It was apparently a Judge Jordan file, file number 183502 DC, but that was dismissed with prejudice or without prejudice on January 28th of this year because it seems like there was lack of progress on the file. I don't know if the court has the ability to reopen that file 10 months later to enter a custody order or whether it would have to bring in a brand new file number. But I have no objection to resolution of her part of the case in that way, shape, or form because she's doing very well with her dad. And I guess we'll just have to see what happens with Rhythm. We're somewhat early on in the case, but we need better progress by Mom. Thank you.
Ms. Traver, if the court were to enter a custody order for Aaliyah, what would you consider to be an acceptable parenting time provision?
I think visits should still be supervised. Dad doesn't have a problem with Aaliyah coming to the office twice a week for visits because she's also seen her sister. So I think what we have set up now for visitation would be appropriate.
Well, if I enter a custody order, Aaliyah would be removed from court jurisdiction, so any supervision wouldn't be by an agency, it would be by either the custodial parent or by a supervisor that they both could agree on. But you would still want to see continued supervised parenting time.
Yes.
Ms. McCluskey, did you want to speak to that issue?
Sure, Your Honor. As far as the supervision by the father, the custody order idea is new to me. I have not heard that, so I haven't discussed that with my client, if that's even feasible. I'm not sure what their relationship is like. So when I spoke to her yesterday, and we realized there's been a little bit of a slow start, but she has had verifiable transportation issues. I think the agency, I think Ms. Traver is aware of that, and that those have been resolved. She had a vehicle that was not running, and it is at this time. So she is, although albeit a little bit late, has the car running. I believe can do her substance abuse assessment today or tomorrow. Drug testing, she will be on top of that now that there are no transportation issues. She's been working. She is back to work at her previous employer, which was shipped. Obviously, those of us familiar with that company, you have to have transportation. So that's why there was a gap in her working. She has her own place now. She's not living with a friend or a family member. And I believe Ms. Travers confirmed that as well. She started parenting classes. And again, it's my understanding the charges have been lowered from a felony to misdemeanors. So she is now back on board, and we do see these transportation issues with our parents. So we would ask that a custody order do not enter, or at least give her another reporting period. Thank you.
Ms. Traver, do you have any updates or additions to your reports?
Miss McCluskey covered most of my updates. The only thing I do want to add is that she was able to get her paperwork to Dr. Louder. So she is working on finishing the psychological now.
Do you agree that it appears that Mom, though late to the game, is finally starting to make some progress towards addressing the concerns that brought her children into care?
It's very slow. I gave bus tickets a while ago. So as far as the transportation issue, I mean, she has had bus tickets, but she has started a lot of things. Yes, I will agree.
Your Honor, if I may.
Go ahead.
So I did find Ms. Paraso's felony file, and it did get reduced to 2 misdemeanors. However, she failed to appear for sentencing last month. So there's currently a bench warrant out for her arrest with no bond. That definitely has the potential to complicate things in the near future.
Go ahead, ma'am.
I just wanted to say about the bench warrant. I've already talked to my attorney about that, and I am going into the courthouse with my attorney to talk to the judge. So there won't be, the bench warrant will be solved. I've already spoke to my attorney about it.
All right. I'm not going to enter a custody order yet, but if I don't see significant and sustained progress by the next review hearing, that is probably exactly what I will do. Right now, we've got the agency engaged with doing supervised visits, and I'd like to see those continue. Otherwise, I'm going to implement all of the recommendations, and we will.
My client, Mr. Grace.
I'm sorry, you're right. I did jump the gun. Go ahead, Mr. Brown.
The only thing with regard to the recommendations, they're asking that parenting time be suspended until Mr. Gratian begins services. That's a service. I realize he hasn't done much, but I would just ask that instead of being suspended, that he be required to call in 2 hours before a parenting time or whatever the agency requests, rather than suspending them. There's no basis to suspend them right now.
Have you had any contact with Mr. Grayson, Ms. Traver?
He did call me one day about a month ago, and that's when he asked to go over all the services with him. So I sent him everything in the mail. He did come to one parenting time on October 5th. They are required to call in 2 hours early. He has not come to any parenting time since. So other than the one time I seen him in person and talked on the phone, no, I haven't had contact with him.
All right, I think the recommendation is appropriate. As soon as he engages in services, his parenting time may be resumed, but again, he has to call in 2 hours ahead of time if he's going to get his parenting time. All right, and I'm going to implement the other recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for January 19 at 8:45.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, Sophia Tabor. Ms. Tennant, I will let in.
Yeah, she had them on ready.
And the jail's not logged in, so we'll have to call them. And are we expecting a father to participate in this one?
No, this is the putative father case from the prison where he kind of was not happy the last time we talked to him. So he didn't want to
Okay.
participate anymore.
Okay, let me call over to the jail.
Sheriff's Office booking Deputy Abby.
Good morning, this is Judge LaFlamme. Could you bring Bailey Tabor to my Zoom room?
Tabor, you said?
Yes.
Let me make sure I have just to make sure. Yep, we'll see what we can do for you, sir.
Thank you, we'll watch for it. Okay, maybe we'll, it usually takes a few minutes for that to happen. What's our next one, Shannon? So we'll pass on that one briefly, and we will do Doris Lafitte. Okay, are we expecting any parents on this file?
Probably not from my client, but Mr. Way and or I need to address something before we even get going on this case.
Okay. Let me get everybody's name, appearance.
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Mike Kelly on behalf of the mother.
Ivan Brown on behalf of the father, Therese LaFlamme.
Rebecca McCluskey, guardian ad litem.
Go ahead, Mr. Brown. Kylie Hukill is here as well, Shannon. Although it looks like her screen is frozen.
And Your Honor,
All right, there we go.
oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. There may be placement in the waiting room. Morgan.
Oh, okay.
I can provide the last name if you need it.
All right, and I just allowed a foster parent into the room. What's your name, please?
Morgan Englehart. Can you hear me?
Okay, so
I'm just putting foster parent on.
all right, yes, thank you. All right, Mr. Brown?
Judge, Mr. Way and I discovered this morning, we tried, for some reason, Mr. Way tried to email me the reports all throughout the weekend. They would not go through. Then Miss Carol emailed them to me this morning. We discovered that the agency sent everything but the foster care report, the USP, the updated service plan, but we don't have a report. So I think we need to adjourn this a week so the agency can submit the report and we can review it.
I don't have the typical foster care report. Instead, I have a case service plan. I've got, looks like parenting time logs, a whole lot more than I normally get, and a parent agency treatment plan.
That should be
no.
Yeah, and I agree with Mr. Brown, Your Honor. And the only recommendation at the end of the USP is that the goal be changed to adoption. So given that, I think it's probably appropriate to adjourn in order to do one of our more traditional reports.
Do you know why they're or
Ms. Hukill, do you know what happened to the report?
I'm from Ingham County, so all we have to send to our court are the updated service plan and the most recent treatment plans. So that's all I had provided.
All right. You don't use the, are you with DHHS or with a service agency?
With a service agency.
I know that with our service agencies, the reports sometimes look a little different, but what I'm used to seeing is the Children's Foster Care Report. It's a DHS Form 1281. Is that something you're familiar with?
We've used it, but we only use that if we don't have a recent treatment plan. And because this treatment plan was just written, that's why that was the only thing sent.
All right. I mean, I had, because of the volume of stuff, I wasn't even clear. I did finally find somewhere in this plan the recommendation for goal change, but it wasn't, because it wasn't the type of report that we typically get. So I would like you to submit the Children's Foster Care Report using DHS Form 1281 before our next hearing. I'll adjourn this 1 week.
October 27th at 9 o'clock.
October 27th at 9 a.m.
And Ms. Hukill, if you have any questions, if you want to send me a draft of it, I'm happy to look at it and give you any tips on how we typically do them.
Okay, yeah, I've written them before, but I just didn't know that I had to send them that along with our updated service plan. So I apologize.
And that's fair enough, because
So-
usual to have an agency from out of county handling one of our cases, so.
All right, we'll see you back here a week from today at
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, looks like we are ready now on Tabor. I see the mom has logged in. Let me get her here. It looks like we have a connection with Ms. Tennant finally. Okay, this is the matter of Sophia Tabor. Can I have each of you identify yourselves for the record?
Bailey
That
Tabor.
way, prosecutor's office.
Beth Tennant with Family Service and Children's Aid.
And Your Honor, Rebecca McCluskey, I was previously appointed to Ms. Tabor, but my notes reflect that I was discharged in July and she had hired another attorney. And I do believe she did not show at the last hearing, so I'm not sure the status of that.
Let me ask, Ms. Tabor, did you make arrangements for hiring a private attorney?
I was going to, and then I got incarcerated, and then so things fell through. So I don't know if Susan, I haven't talked about it with Susan Danke. I was going to see if she would represent me.
Do you want me to reappoint Ms. McCluskey for the time being until you're able to arrange for other counsel?
Yes, please.
Do you have a problem with that, Ms. McCluskey?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Did you get a copy of the report?
I actually did. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. We're not expecting anyone else to appear, correct?
I believe that's correct, Your Honor. We have a putative father who's in prison and no longer wants to participate.
Okay. So, Mr. Kelly, how is Sophia doing?
I spoke with placement. It sounds like she's a little girl who's into everything. They have no concerns whatsoever. Should this case continue down the path it's going down, they've expressed a willingness to adopt. I would like to get better progress on this matter, even though we're somewhat early on. But otherwise, I'd have no comment or objection to the recommendations.
And Ms. Tennant, do you have any updates to your report?
I do not know.
Ms. McCluskey, what is your position on the recommendations?
Your Honor, I've reviewed the report and the recommendations are the same as what was previously ordered that we did not object to, so I have no objection to the recommendations. Thank you.
So, Ms. Tabor, obviously you're in jail right now. Do you have any idea how long you're likely to be there?
No, I currently asked if I could be put on tether at the shelter so I can get a place so I can get my baby back. So
what kind of charges? What kind of charges are you facing?
Right now, arson and a meth charge. But I have not been sentenced.
And Mr. Wade, do you have any information on the criminal charges?
Yeah, that what Ms. Tabor said is correct. The arson is a first-degree arson, which is a capital offense. That's arson of a dwelling, and then the possession of meth, which is a 10-year felony. So she's facing significant charges, Your Honor. I think they were just gone over recently.
Is there a sentencing date set?
No, it just got sent to circuit court. They just had a preliminary exam recently. I don't even think they've had a pretrial on the arson case yet. So it's still a ways out.
Oh, I see. All right, well, let's, I think under the circumstances, the recommendations are appropriate. Obviously, mom's gonna have difficulty participating in any service as long as she remains incarcerated. So I will implement the recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for January 19th at 8:45. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Way, I'm just curious, since I don't do anything on the criminal side, when we have no ability to conduct trials, jury trials, are the other judges being a little more lenient in terms of releasing pending trial?
Far more lenient, Your Honor. I know there's a 6 or 7 co-defendant homicide conspiracy, and I think all but one of them are out on bond right now. It just kind of depends case to case, judge to judge, but they've been working with the jail too. They're letting people out on good time too, I believe, at the jail, a little more liberally to just make sure the jail's not too packed.
We did Lafitte, didn't we? I just didn't give it back to you. It's still sitting here.
Don't get confused.
Yeah, usually when it's sitting here, it means I gotta recall it, so
Don't get confused.
that's easy to do.
I agree with you, it is.
Okay, next up is the matter of the Kemp minors, Henry and Zachary. Let me let Ms. Aroka in the room.
I believe it's Ms.
Are we-
Kirkpatrick on this one.
Oh, okay. You're right, I looked at the wrong line. That's all right, we'll let her stay. Are we expecting any parents on this file?
Your Honor, I don't believe my client is going to participate. I did speak with her yesterday. I would waive her appearance. Thank you.
Okay, can I have each of you, this is a matter of the Kemp minors, can I have each of you identify yourselves for the record?
Matt Way, Prosecutor's Office.
Chelsea Kirkpatrick, foster care worker.
Rebecca McCluskey for Caitlin Cologne.
Mike Kelly, I'm the father.
Ken Hotchkiss, lawyer guardian ad litem.
This was a date and time set for receipt of a termination petition. The court is in receipt of a petition. Has everyone else received a copy?
Yes,
I have, Your Honor.
We're going to schedule a termination hearing for Tuesday, November 24th at 1 p.m. Is there anything else the court needs to address today?
Oh, Your Honor.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you. We'll see you then. Okay, next up, Devin and Christopher Sauceda. So Ms. Aroka, I think, is present already. Mr. Saucedo was in the waiting room, and let's see. What else are we looking for here? I don't, there's a phone number in the room. Are we expecting mother to participate?
I don't know. I tried to get a hold of her, but my phone calls to the number that I have would not go through. So
Well, let me see.
Surprised if she's
What is the phone number that's in there? Because her phone number apparently changed last week.
I'm going to let it in and find out. All right, I just let in someone with a telephone ending in 3928. What is your name, please?
Stephanie Reyes.
Oh, okay, Ms. Reyes, we're not quite ready for your case. I'm going to put you back in the waiting room. We just needed to know who you were.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. The only other phone I see is Dee's iPhone. That doesn't sound like that would be Ms. Taylor. So we'll assume she's not participating. I see Mr. Williams is there. We'll let him in. Okay, in the matter of Devin and Christopher Sauceda, can I have each of you, beginning with Mr. Way, identify yourselves for the record?
That way, prosecutor's office.
Michelle Arocha, DHHS.
Ivan Brown on behalf of Matthew Sauceda.
on behalf of the mother.
Rebecca McCluskey, guardian ad litem.
And Mr. Sauceda is present. You can hear me okay, sir?
Yes.
Okay, Ms. McCluskey, how are Devin and Christopher doing?
The children are doing well. They're with relative placement. No concerns. It sounds like she didn't report any concerns after the sporadic parenting time. And there was a call with mom recently that went okay. Just disappointed to see the progress, but the boys are fine. I have no concerns. I reviewed the report. I have no objection to the recommendations. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Rocha, do you have any updates or changes to your report or your recommendations?
I do have a couple, Your Honor. First, I submitted this report a week and a half ago, and in that time, I had tried to offer mom an additional parenting time with the boys. She again failed to follow through on that and instead told me she was sick. I asked her to provide me with a letter showing what her illness was in order to reschedule a parenting time, and I never heard back from her all week. I did finally get a text message from her yesterday saying that she's trying to get herself into a treatment facility and that her phone number has changed now to, I can provide that to Mr. Kelly after the hearing. My recommendations right now do reflect Mr. Saucedo being incarcerated and had asked for suspended parenting time. I still feel that although he just was released on Friday, that's still an appropriate recommendation for suspended parenting time, as he was only in jail for a month. And prior to that, he had had no contact with the boys other than one time in which Christopher had found him passed out on the front porch with a needle on his chest. So, and he hasn't made any progress with any sort of services since then. My recommendations for mom were still supervised visits, but again, in the last week, she still hasn't taken advantage of that. She's only seen the boys on 2 other occasions, one of which was screaming that placement had kidnapped the boys, and that the phone calls that she's having are sporadic. Christopher's had to hang up the phone on her twice because she gets so upset with him about not wanting to come home. So at this time, I just think until the parents can show some improvement in their parenting skills and take some action in regards to the continued substance abuse, I think suspended parenting time for both parents would be appropriate at this time.
Okay, Mr. Kelly.
No comment, Your Honor. I've had no contact with my client.
And Mr. Brown.
Judge, with regard to my client, the children are with his mother. He has been in jail. That's why I did not connect with him. I did not know that he was released on Friday. There are adequate safeguards. We do this all the time, substance abuse issues. We don't just suspend parenting time. Obviously, if he were to come under the influence or be under the influence, that's a different story. But there can be safeguards put in place for parenting time now that he is not incarcerated. I would ask Mr. Sauceda, do you still have the telephone number that starts with 257?
No, I do not.
Okay. Can you give me your telephone number right now? So if
Yep,
things
I
are
just got it yesterday. It's area code 830 556
okay.
99631.
Okay. You realize you need to contact the caseworker and get going on a service plan, correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. With that being said, Judge, I don't think suspended parenting time, seeing that the children are with his mother, and most likely he will be in contact with them and in their lives, no matter what happens in this case, it doesn't make sense at this point in time.
Well, the court is concerned that with the significant lack of engagement and what appears to be very little interest shown in actually having parenting time, I'm not going to suspend. I'm going to order supervised by the agency, but I'm going to give the agency discretion to suspend parenting time if there is either inappropriate behavior during parenting time or a failure to engage consistently in parenting time. I don't want these children expecting parenting time and find out parents aren't showing up. All that's going to do is throw them into a tailspin. Otherwise, I'll implement the other recommendations. We'll set our next review hearing for January 19th at 9 a.m. We absolutely have to see significant engagement by both parents if we're going to continue to work towards reunification. I hope I'm able to see that at our next review hearing. So January 19th at 9 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, next up is a post-term hearing for Mason Brooks. And I don't see Ms. Mattinson in the waiting room. Is there someone else on this one, Mr. Well, Mr. Ray's gone. No, he is. He's still there. Let me see if another name shows up on the report. Pamela Freeberg, who's the supervisor, or the adoption worker, rather. Okay, this is the matter of Mason Brooks. Who's LGAL on this one?
I am, Your Honor.
Mr. Williams, how is Mason doing?
Doing well. He was going to hybrid school 2 days a week. Unfortunately, somebody in the district tested positive for COVID, so they're online. Just like a lot of people, some struggles with that whole thing. But Mason overall is doing well. Placement still planning to adopt him. Reports no issues with his behavior. She's just trying to get caught up with her schooling, and she's got a lot on her plate. Her dad was in the hospital, so she knows that she's a little bit lagging in getting some of her adoption paperwork together. But she assured me she'd be working on that today.
Okay, and Ms. Freeberg, are we making good progress towards adoption?
Yes, I did complete the child assessment and I'm just waiting on some paperwork from the family right now. I know that they did start it and they are, they have expressed their commitment to adopt.
So the report indicates anticipated finalization in January. Does that appear still to be realistic to you?
Yes.
Very well. I'm glad to see progress is being made. I will implement the recommendations. We'll set another post term for January 19th at 9 a.m. And with any luck, we might even be able to finalize before then. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's that?
3 minutes early.
Oh, okay. We lost Ms. Reyes.
Your Honor, real quickly, since we're a couple minutes early, could we just address what we're doing on the Holler Jackson case? I emailed Mr. Brown and Ms. Danke to let them know that you haven't been able to finish the interview. Do we want to set a date like next week to address it further?
Yeah, obviously I'm not going to be able to do it as scheduled at 1 o'clock because I didn't get through the CAC. So let's push that out a week, Shannon.
Judge, you had indicated you were just going to issue a written opinion or a written statement.
And that might very well be the case, but it may also be necessary for me to address whatever other concerns may exist.
I will let Ms. Danke know so she doesn't need to appear this afternoon.
Okay, thank you.
Move it to October 27th at 1. Is that where you want me to put it?
Yes,
Just a week out? Okay.
10:27 at 1.
Thank you.
Moved.
Okay, Ms. Reyes is here, so I think we can go ahead on the matter of Jaden Reyes, even though we're just a little bit early. Let me let her, I think that's her number. She logged out, so it no longer has the name. Is Ms. Reyes, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a matter of Jaden Reyes. Let's see.
I've been appointed guardian on this one, Judge.
Okay, and Mr. Way is here. Who's our, let me see. Look at my
Melissa
list.
Taylor.
Yeah, let me I don't, I don't see her. I only see Danielle Legore and it says Dee's iPhone. I don't know who that is.
I bet that's Mr. Lafitte. I think that's how
Oh,
his is
okay.
listed.
Reese Lafitte, we already did that case.
Yes.
All right, let me let him know that.
And you rescheduled it for next week.
There's Miss Taylor. We'll let her in.
Boopy.
Okay, so in the matter of Jaden Reyes, we have the mother present, Melissa Taylor, Mr. Way, and Mr. Kelly is LGAL. Ms. Reyes, you understand that you are entitled to be represented by an attorney in this matter. Do you wish the court to appoint someone to represent you?
Yes.
Are you
I was
okay with
actually under
Ms.?
the impression that Rebecca McCluskey was still going to be the attorney.
Well, we have to confirm that because we have a new petition and a new child involved. But Ms. McCluskey, you're certainly willing to continue representing Ms. Reyes?
Yes, of course. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, I will appoint you on this child as well.
Okay, Your Honor, so
Thank you.
just for my sake here, should I fill out another form for,
She's already filled it out. I don't think we need one.
so do I need to put her on my list? So, so when we go from attorney to attorney?
I don't think so.
No.
Because it's not a random assignment. Okay. Ms. Reyes, I need to apprise you of the rights that you have in this matter. In addition to the right to assistance of counsel, you also have the right to a trial, either before a judge or a jury, if you make a timely jury demand. Who is Jaden's father?
He's not involved.
I didn't understand that. Say it again.
He's not involved. I've requested him to do a DNA test at least 5 times, and he won't respond to my messages. Or he's given me reason why he doesn't want to do it. But
I get that, but I still need to know his name so that we can notify him and give him an opportunity to step up if he wishes to do so.
I've already given him that opportunity. He does not want to be involved.
Boy.
I appreciate that, ma'am, but I need to know his name. What is his name, ma'am?
I'm not going to provide that information due to the situation with Aaron and his family receiving information about the case itself before we even had the paternity results, and then him turning out not to be the father. I don't want to repeat that. This is a very personal and confidential thing for me. So when he doesn't want to be involved in any of that, and I've already had a bad situation with that before, I'm not comfortable disclosing that information.
Well, we will move on at the moment, but we're going to revisit that issue. Ms. McCluskey, is it necessary for me to read the petition?
Your Honor, on behalf of Ms. Reyes, I would waive reading and waive probable cause. Ask that the matter be set for pretrial trial. Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Reyes, I'm sure I've asked you this before. Do you have any Native American Indian ancestry?
I do, but nothing that's documented, so no affiliations that have been on record.
All right, so I assume that's been explored at some point in the past?
Yeah.
Ms. Taylor, are you aware?
Yeah, that was.
Yes, we're all set. I know it was explored in the past, but there was nothing expressed this time around, no.
All right, and Ms. Reyes, I know you don't want to identify the father, but can you at least tell me if you know whether he has any Native American ancestry?
As far as I know, no.
You don't know?
I'm not for sure, but I don't believe so.
Okay, thank you. Okay. I'm going to schedule this for a pretrial on December 1st at 8:30. Trial December 8th at 1 p.m. Where is Jaden placed?
He's in a licensed foster home, Your Honor.
It's a girl.
Yeah, sorry, it says she, but it did sound like he.
Oh, Jaden is a girl, sorry.
Yes.
It's okay. Yeah, her name is spelled Jaedyn.
Yeah, that was going to be my next thing, Your Honor. Her name is spelled wrong on the petition.
As is Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's name is misspelled as well?
Yes.
We need to get those fixed. I mean, we at a stage where we have to use that special form yet, or if it's pre-adjudication?
I don't know on that. I have no idea.
I think at this early stage,
There was a lot of back and forth between who was working the case between Mrs. Taylor and Mrs. LaGore. Like for at least like the first 5-6 days.
All right, well, and I see Ms. LaGore is waiting, so I'm gonna let her in. I'm sorry, ma'am.
Thursday.
Ms. Reyes, I want you to spell Jaden's first name again, please.
Like for at least like the first 5-6 days. Jaedyn. And her middle name is spelled Raine, if you need that.
I don't think we've got the middle name, so I don't think we need to worry about that, but I want to get the first one. Jaedyn is her first name.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to amend the petition right now to fix that. It doesn't list her middle name, so I don't need to worry about that.
Hey, and Brooklyn's name should be spelled Brooklynn.
That's how it's spelled.
I've noticed in a few spots in the petition that it was messed up.
All right, that is spelled correctly in the court file currently, so I don't need to fix that.
Yeah, I do know that the gentleman that was at the Jackson County Youth Center did make some corrections, but I don't know how far he had gotten.
So you've resisted providing me with the name of the person you believe is the father. Are there any candidates other than him?
There is one other potential person that has also been informed of the whole situation, but I haven't heard from him in at least 5-6 months.
So, Mr. Way, I'm not sure I've encountered a situation where a mother has been reluctant to identify the father. I've had them say they don't know, or I only know his first name and I have only seen him once. Although sometimes I question whether they're being truthful about that, but at least that's an answer I can live with. I haven't gone down the road of compelling a parent to identify potential fathers. Have you been down this road before?
I can't say for sure. I think maybe I've seen Judge Radley order somebody to give the name. I've never seen it not happen. I mean, obviously, I think the court has an obligation to attempt to come up with the putative father's name, and notify them. And I don't know what else to do other than to order her to do it, and with the idea that she might face contempt if she doesn't.
Judge, I believe in another case that you ordered somebody to do that, or you were gonna issue a bench warrant. That's what I remember.
Yeah, I certainly have the ability to order Ms. Reyes to disclose the names of the putative fathers so they can receive an official notice. And if she refuses to do so, I can hold her in contempt of court, and I can actually have her jailed until such time as she reveals the name. That's how I would normally proceed on a contempt. I just don't know, Ms. McCluskey.
I wonder if, Your Honor, if she's uncomfortable with saying it out loud, she could always talk to Ms. McCluskey, give the name. She could pass it on to the court so we could do the summons. I mean, it's going to be part of a public file, but at least that way it's not being said on YouTube if that's, and in open court if that's the concern.
And I understand that. So here's what I'm going to do. Ms. Reyes, I am going to order in my order after preliminary hearing today that you disclose the names of these potential putative fathers to your attorney. We won't make you do it on the record. That way they can get noticed. If they choose not to participate once they've been notified, we will proceed without them. I can't force them to participate, but I can certainly apprise them of their right to participate. I
can send them text messages and send the proof of that to my attorney, but that's as far as I'm willing to take that. As I said, I haven't had contact with one of them in the last 5 months. There's nothing I can do about that. And the other one, like I said, does not want to be involved, and it's already been brought to his attention literally from the day she was born. And, he's aware of the cases.
My order is going to require you to disclose that information to your attorney. If you don't, then you will face potential contempt of court. And one of the options available to me is to order that you be held in jail until such time as you disclose those names.
Okay, so my question for you is, when it revolves around the children, why does a father that is not involved in the child's life harbor my time, which is generously given 3 hours a week as it is? When this case, like I said, revolves around my children, then you would put me in jail over a man's name and lack of involvement?
So, ma'am, that's what my order is going to say. If you choose
right, because
to
it's not about the children.
If you choose to disobey my order, you will face the consequences. I urge you to think seriously about whether you want to take it.
It's not about the children. It's not about the safety of the children.
Ms. Reyes, I will discuss why the court has to do this with you, okay? You and I will have that discussion.
It's not about the children. That's all there is to it.
All right. So what's the recommendation for parenting time pending our pretrial?
We will do supervised with discretion for unsupervised visits at this time.
Okay. I will order that. We'll have our Ms. Reyes, I do need to tell you that you can be held responsible for the cost of your court-appointed attorney based upon your ability to pay. And you can also be held responsible for the cost of foster care up to $20 a day, again, based upon your ability to pay. So pre-trial, December 1st, 8:30, trial, December 8th at 1 p.m. Anything else the court needs to address today?
Yes, Your Honor, do you want me to just publish? Just for the putative father for this time being right now?
We don't normally do that, do we? Do we?
I have in the past. And I
Let's,
did
let's
too.
publish for a putative father then.
There we go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, I think that completes our morning docket. Anything else, counsel?
That's it.
All right, thank you. We'll see you at 1.